Hi, hello, happy Tuesday. Well, before we start, I'm wearing my Manchester bee with pride today, and I'm very, very proud to be a Mancunian, especially on a day like today. Sadly, it's the 12-month anniversary of the Manchester Arena bombing, where 22 people were killed. Sadly, a lot of them were children, and lots more were injured. But Manchester has had a remembrance service in the cathedral, and the Prince William was there, the Duke of Cornwall, and no, Duke of Cambridge, I beg your pardon. He's not the Duke of Cornwall, that's Prince Charles, Duke of Cambridge. And he was there at the remembrance service in the cathedral, which was beautiful. And tonight there has been a celebration, if you want to call it that. The choirs of the children from the schools have been singing, and there's been thousands and thousands of people in the centre of Manchester all singing along, all united. And the theme of it all really is, we won't be divided. Manchester are different, Manchester are loving, and no matter what happens, you know, this crisis with the bomber and that will not blow us apart like they thought they would. They thought they would set people against each other, which they haven't done in Manchester. Manchester has just bonded together like one huge family. We're very multicultural, and that has come out in strength in the last 12 months. That because one person did this task, or two people, or how many people it was anyway, that the other members of their race and colour and culture have got nothing to do with it, nothing at all to do with it. That it's work of an extremist, it's not the work of the majority. And I think this is what Manchester has come together to prove, that we still love all our fellow people, yeah? That you're not going to set one religion against another religion, because it doesn't work in Manchester. It doesn't work. So I'm so proud to be a Mancunian today. So sorry if I've been on my soapbox, but that's the way we ought to do it. We love each other. Just because some lunatics do stupid things in the world and blow people up, that does not mean that the majority of people are like that. They're not. So don't go around with suspicion, you know. Just take each day as it comes. Love your neighbour, that's all I'm going to say. Unless your neighbour happens to be one of the bombers, but that's very, very remote chance. That's just my Manchester humour coming out. But as I say, the majority of people in Manchester are very multicultural. We all live in harmony. Yes, we do have hate crimes, as they call them. Or race crimes, as they call them. We're not immune, like other big cities in the world. We're not immune, but we try not to let it rise us up in anger, you know. We try to let it settle, and we all live together, yeah. Right, enough of that now. I'm going to get on to my crochet. I have finished the there's no pattern before you ask me. It's in my noddle, yeah, in here, in my noodle. It's just a simple shell stitch, you know, 5 trebles or double crochets if you're in America, and a single crochet or a double crochet if you're in the UK. Oh, it's so confusing this. I wish we all spoke the same language. And then you just alternate it. The trick is, if you use 3 colours, you can strand up the sides without having to break off, and keep cutting your thread, yeah. Because 3 colours works out the same way, as it's going this way and that way and this way. When you use 2 or 4, it doesn't work out that way. I've not tried it with 5 or whatever. I think maybe, but you might have very long floats up the side if you tried it with 5 colours, yeah. So I've only ever tried it with 3, so it's all finished now. Waiting for its photo to be taken. I have taken the photos of the other things I've been doing, but you know me, I haven't put them on Etsy as yet. You'd all faint if I did it on the same day, wouldn't you? You would, honestly, because this is just not me. This is not me. procrastinator. That's me. You're looking at the world's champion. Well, not perhaps the world's champion, but my area's champion. Well, what am I doing? My work's in progress. I'm still chugging along. Woo, with my cardigan. It's an order, not my cardigan. Oh, gosh, my thread's all wound round everywhere. And now I want to sniff, which is not very elegant, is it? Right, this is my... I keep saying mine, it's not mine. My order for a cardigan is growing, as you can see. It's growing quite well. And I am dividing my time between this and my other thing that's an order. I'll try not to get my yarn dip in my coffee, because we don't want any more brown splodges that's not supposed to be there. What I am doing now is an order for a lady in New Zealand. And the pattern is actually on Ravelry. It's a free pattern. It's called Lena. Is it called Luna? Luna Lovegood, I think it's called. But I have to say, please don't ask me what I've been doing, because the lady who wrote it for herself and only wrote it in one size. So I've had to convert it down to smaller because my lady's smaller. And also I've been using different yarn, which of course I have been because the pattern was written in American, yeah. And as for the sleeves, please don't ask me, I don't know what she did. She actually says here, time for the sleeves. Now this is where it gets weird. Ask me seriously if you have any questions. Well, we can't do because the lady appears to be not around anymore. He said, this may be a little confusing because it was confusing for me to make. And it was confusing for me to try and work out too, because she doesn't really give a lot of instructions. She gives a link to another place to do these things, which is now a defunct link. And so, with the help of quite a few pictures that I've found in various places on the internet, I've sort of attempted to do my own version of it, but like I said, please don't ask me what I did because I really don't know. Right, it's the Lena, is she called Lena or Luna? Luna Lovegood from the Harry Potter films. And this is what it looks like so far. I stopped doing the body work to do the sleeves, so it's got to be longer than that, yeah. And the sleeves have got... This is not the sleeve of the pattern. This is the sleeve as I could interpret it to be. When you look at Lena, I keep calling her Lena, she's Luna. When I keep looking at Luna's photographs off the actual movie, the sleeves don't look like this, but this is as close as to the pattern on Ravelry that I could make it. So now I've got to go down to make the body work, and then I have to crochet some buttons because it's got like covered crochet buttons that go in these loops. And I'm a bit disappointed with this because I've put the loops where she told me to, but that loops looks higher up than it should be. It should be there to my mind. So whether I can sort of do a little bit of adjustment, because I'm certainly not undoing it, so maybe I can make that into the buttonhole and then they'll be more even, if you know what I mean, because I've got to go back with some, well, here we go again, UK double crochet, US single crochet. I've got to go round it all, so hopefully instead of going into that loop there, which makes it wrong, if you know what I mean. She said do it on the 5th row and then on the 11th. But it's not right, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to try and make it into that row there. That row and that row, which makes it level, yeah. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. It's lovely to work with. It's the, I think I told you, it's the Kinko Cotton Soft, which is 100% cotton. I got mine from Purple Linda, but I think they sell it on other sites as well. So that's what it is. I must stop doing that. Because you must be trying to read it. That's what it is anyway. And it doesn't have a colour. Oh yes it does, it's called Violet. 7717 or something. Oh, you know me without my glasses. It's called Violet anyway. Look it up. So I'm quite happy with that. I've been ploughing on with that while I've been watching all the concerts and that in Manchester. I said I'm proud to be Mancunian. I am. So although it's a sad day in many respects, you know, because we're remembering all the little, well, not the little children, but they were quite young, who lost their lives. And a couple of adults who'd gone to help them, you know. It was a vicious thing to do, you know, to set a nail bomb when there's lots of children around, but it's a wicked world we live in, sadly. I've not heard from Sue, so I don't know whether she's going to be giving me a royal visit as yet. I did hear from Kelly yesterday. She's found me some white fabric to do the linings on my bags, so hopefully, because I'm so lazy, as I've told you before, and I don't want to rethread the machine until my white material comes, yeah? I'll do the others after when I can change the bobbin. If that's not the height of laziness, what is? You can tell I'm not much of a sewer, can't you? Yeah. This one was done in a variety of acrylics. All I can remember is that multicoloured was Peyton's Fab, I think it was. The others were just acrylics. I think they were, could have been Stylecraft or could have been, I can't remember. They're what I had in Stash, yeah. So, I don't know why I'm sniffing. I haven't got a cold, honestly. Not really, no. So do you like my Manchester Bee? Grace sent it to me because she knew I was upset at the time with what had happened in Manchester. It just hit us really hard, yeah. And, but it brought out the best in us. Anything like that, you know. Famine, fire, pestilence, war brings out the best in us because we're Lancashire folk, yeah. We don't panic, they don't frighten us. They think they can break us, but they only make us stronger. Yeah, I've got my knitting queen with lipstick on it. Yeah, I've got my knitting queen. It was got for me one Christmas by my younger niece's mother-in-law, who obviously got confused between knitting and crochet, I think, yeah. Yeah, I must thank you all that sent me suggestions of what, you know, the path I should be taking next. Obviously, I've got to finish my orders first. Very, very good suggestions. I thank you all for them, and I will be following them up and taking them in, you know, my stride or whatever, while I decide what I'm going to pick up to do next, yeah. I watch some videos, you know, but a lot of the motivational videos on YouTube are not appertaining to me at all, because they're all talking about productivity and you've got to put so many things in your Etsy shop a week and it's got to be this and it's got to be that, and it isn't really relevant to anybody who crochets like I do and can take 2 weeks to make one garment, yeah. I mean, I've said this before, I'd like to become a bit more famous than I am. Not that I am famous anyway, but you know, a bit more famous. But I wouldn't want to be swamped, because then it would take the pleasure out of my crochet. If I got like lots and lots of orders and things like that, and I was like on a treadmill, you know, with it doing it, I think it would spoil my enjoyment of my crafting. But having said that, I'd like to pick and choose what I made, you know, and have a little niche somewhere where I can say, this is my shawl I've made, you know. It's either take it or leave it, I'm not doing orders, you know, just Yeah. If it's something that I've made and I've enjoyed making, I don't mind, you know, doing orders from it. But if it's something that I haven't made before and I can see that it's going to be difficult or it's going to be a long project, then I really don't want to make that, because then it would put me off my crocheting, you know. I'm not into, I mean, a lot of people are into long-term projects, aren't they, where they start these Afghans and God knows what. And that's not me. I'm more of an instant gratification kind of person when it comes to crochet. I like to see it moving, I like to see it growing. I could never do those tiny little thread work things, you know. You know, and the hook, you can't see the end on it because it's so tiny. And the thread's like sewing thread, isn't it? Yeah. I have intense admiration for ladies who do that, and tatting and things like that. Beautiful, beautiful work. But not me. I did once try tatting, and although I did master it, my piece of tatting looked absolutely filthy because my greasy little hands had been handling it and going into it and all that. And it wasn't worth anything when it was done. It was just a filthy piece of tatting, you know, that looked like it'd been dragged round the floor a few times. I didn't realise my hands were dirty at the time or greasy at the time, but obviously I must have those kind of hands who leave marks on things. And I usually wash my, you know, my items. This hasn't been washed yet or blocked yet. That's why it's had a little bit of a flute at the bottom. Because I never know whether there's going to be any marks on them, you know, from my fingers or something like that. So I generally wash them through before I put them up on Etsy. That's another reason why this hasn't gone on Etsy yet, because I haven't took its photograph because it's not been blocked. If the weather's nice, it's supposed to be nice tomorrow. The weather forecast said it's supposed to be nice tomorrow, but Manchester has other ideas when it comes to weather. It has its own, you know, it has rain, light rain, heavy rain, monsoon, with an odd day of sunshine in between. That's Manchester weather, yeah. But it doesn't dampen our spirits, does it? No, it doesn't. We're still there. If it had been raining today, there'd have been hundreds of thousands of people with their umbrellas up, you know. Wouldn't have deterred them at all. We're so used to getting wet, it's fine. And, but, so that's what I've been, I'm taking in on board all of your suggestions, and I'm thinking them all through. Because at the moment I can't start because I've got my orders to do. I have another order to do, but my lady's not got back to me what colour she wants. I gave her a choice of 3. And I'm still waiting for her answer. So she's had to take a back seat in the queue now because I've started. The reason I started doing this one without finishing the fleck one off is this lady wanted it for a certain date, and she lives in New Zealand. And we all know what the post is like between here and Australia and New Zealand. So I wanted to give it plenty of time because, you know, I do like to accommodate people if I can, when they've got a certain date that they want something for, if it's a special occasion or something. I do try to accommodate them, yeah. So, but to be fair, I'm doing a bit on each one. I'm not just concentrating on the purple one, you know. I'm doing a bit on the other as well. But I would like to finish the purple and get it in the post and then make sure it gets to New Zealand before this date in June that this lady wants it for. So, that's all really I've got to say. I've not really done anything, not been anywhere. Went shopping, of course, but I wouldn't watch after I watched the wedding, but I did tell you all about that. I've not ordered any more yarn, hooray. Being tempted by the ice because they had this magic on offer, but I'm being good. I've got enough. And I was tempted by Lola's little wool shack. She's got some lovely colours that's just come in, so not looking. And I was dear enough to get some more colours of the Hobium cotton, you know, the Mamiya mercerised. But I'm not going to do that. Not. My eyes are bigger than my crochet hook. They really are. I don't think I'm on my own with that. I think it's a common thing, you know. I mean, I know Sue's got it as well, and Kelly to a certain extent. And Christina says we're you know, converting into being a yarn hoarder. We're a terrible influence on people, aren't we? Terrible influence. But you see, we're all the same. If we see a bargain anywhere, we see something that we think the other one's going to like, we say, have you seen this on Ice, Horbium, Lolly, whoever, you know, whatever website, yeah, Kemp's. And we just go, no, we don't want anything. Oh, let's just have a look, yeah. Fatal. Yes. I've not done too bad this last few weeks with my output, so I'm quite pleased with my little self. You miss out the stripe. Some weeks I feel as though I've not achieved anything, and other weeks. But the trouble is, when I achieve a lot with crocheting, everything else goes to pot. Like, you know, housework goes to pot. Ironing, well, I don't do ironing. Christine, if you're watching, I don't do ironing, do I? You know, washing dishes, hoovering the floor, general tidying, things like that. All take a back seat when I'm doing my crocheting. Because I get so comfy when I'm laying my recliner. You know, because I think I've been telling you I've had problems with my neck arthritis. But if I can lie back in my recliner with my neck like sort of level, you know, like on an angle, I'm so comfortable that I really don't want to move because it holds my back. All I can say is, whoever invented recliners, thank you very, very much, because it lifts my legs up so my ankles don't swell, yeah? It relaxes my back when I get in a certain position, all the muscles in my back just relax. And then of course it supports my neck when my neck hurts. So I may be crocheting in a funny angle because I'm sort of laid out, but at least I can crochet, albeit a bit slower. But because if I have all these problems and I'm just trying to crochet and I'm really in pain, it doesn't do good, does it? You know, it doesn't. I know a lot of you sympathise because a lot of you have been telling me the improvisations that you make when you're crocheting. You know, we wear our glove things, don't we, to support our wrists and stuff like that, you know. Oh dear. Is it just me or am I just an old crock? My idea is when I keep on crocheting, I know I've got terrible arthritis in my hands and my wrists and my arms and stuff, but if I don't do my crocheting, I find that it's much worse. If they're aching and they're bad and I start crocheting, I sort of think, oh, why am I doing this? It's hurting me. Why am I doing it? But my mum always used to tell me that when she started, she knitted more than she crocheted. When she started doing her knitting on a certain day, her wrists and her hands and everything would ache. But by about 5 or 10 minutes in, they sort of loosened up, you know, and they didn't pain her anymore. So that's my sort of way of thinking of things, you know. I start off crocheting and I'm thinking, ooh, that hurts, or ooh, that thumb hurts, or that finger hurts me. So I put my gloves on, you know, my long, what I call them, support things, you put them on. And then I push on a bit longer, then after a bit I suddenly realise I'm not in any pain anymore, because it's just, I've worked it out. And I think that's the only reason, like, it keeps my fingers straight, because they were starting to bend at one stage. Yeah. Or broke a nail. I mean, you know how many years I had bitten nails, which was terrible. So I managed to grow them, and then what did I do but break one right off, right at the bottom there. And it really hurt. It hurt more than when I ever used to bite them. And I kept thinking, there's something missing off that finger. I've been going like that, what's missing off my finger? Something's missing off the finger. A nail. Hopefully it will grow again. Hopefully. We'll see how we go on. The only thing I'm not used to is the constant sort of brushing with the nails brush to keep them clean, you know. Because every time I look at them I think, ooh, what's down there? Oh, I think ladies must never do any work or anything to keep their nails so fantastic, yeah. Or is it just me that goes grubbing in things, yeah? When I used to garden, I used to have nails full of all sorts, yeah. Ooh, let's not go there. So I'm not seeing Gigi so far this week. I don't always see him every week. They'll let me know if they want me to have him, and in another week or so I'm having Poppy for a few days. That'll be nice. My lovely, lovely Poppy. And I've managed to get in touch with my old dog walk. Well, she's not old, you know what I mean, the old dog walker I have when I bust her, to see if she can fit him in. Her or her dog walking partner. See if he can fit him in. Not him, fit her in. She's a girl. Just for a couple of walks, you know, just because, you know, she's okay for a couple of days, but when I have her longer than 2 days, she really needs exercising, yeah. But she has to stay on her lead because she's a monkey's uncle, yeah. They have all the time getting her back, but a stranger will never get her back. She'll be off up to wherever they live, you know. She can be a stubborn little custard. Plus she likes to chase squirrels, but fortunately for all concerned, she never quite manages to catch them. Because we don't want any presence of squirrels now. One of my cats used to bring me presents of half-dead birds and mice. But he used to bring them in the house, so they were like running around, and he was like chasing them and pouncing on them. I used to rescue them sometimes and put them outside, but they always used to die, so... yeah. I just wished he'd have killed them and not bothered to bring them in the house, you know, if he was going to do that sort of thing. Not that I approved of him. I mean, if I saw him chasing a bird, I always used to shoo the bird away. But quite often, of course, you're not there, are you, when they do this sort of thing? And they just triumphantly bring you a present in, don't they? Bonk it on the carpet. Look, Mum, haven't I been good? I've caught you a mouse. Oh, it's not dead yet. Ooh. Don't like them. If I know there's a mouse in a cage or a mouse in a container, I'm fine with mice. I just don't like them unexpectedly running in the house or being brought in the house, yeah. No, just no. No, I don't, I've never... We used to have 2 white mice when my son was small. But I always used to think it was cruel. I mean, they were in a massive big cage, but I still thought it was cruel. I'd said before, I'm not a lover of creatures in cages and birds in cages and things, you know. Unless it's a massive, massive cage and, you know, they're bred in captivity. But, you know, a lot of the parrots, who knows where they've come from. They could have been snaggled from a tree somewhere and been living a life flying in the treetops, and then suddenly catches them and sticks them in a cage, you know. But, no, I'm not for anything like that. I mean, Buster, he hardly ever was on his lead because he was so obedient. He used to stay by your feet until we got where we were going, and then he used to know that he could go and run then. But he always came back when I called him. Well, almost always anyway. But I didn't really need a lead on him. Except when we went to the main road, of course, I would just put one on for safety. Because you never know if something frightens, you know, the dog and startles it, and it might just jump somewhere and jump in the path of a car. So that's the only time I used to put him on a lead, was when he was, you know, anywhere near traffic, yeah. But apart from that, he was a really good dog. But my sons too, when they had the 2 of them, well, one of them was, she used to pull your arm out of its socket. You know, like the adverts where you see a woman flying behind a dog, like one of my son's dogs used to be like that. Well, sadly she passed away. She had cancer of the liver and she passed away. Oh, I can hear a doggy barking. Sounds like Jess. Don't know the people's names, a lot of them who live round by me, but I know what the dogs are called. Like, oh, that's Buddy's dad. Oh, that's... Because sometimes I'm saying hello to people, and people I'm with are saying, who's that? And I say, yeah, well, it's Jessie's dad, you know. the dog. We've got 2 dogs called Buddy on the street. We've got one next door this way, one further down called Buddy. This Buddy down the road is a cockapoo. Yeah. So I'm going to go now, you'll be happy to know. I'm not going to Twitter to you any longer. I'm still hoping I might see Sue this week. Who knows, she's working obviously, isn't she? She will ring me when she's free. I have no doubts about that. It's just me being selfish, you know, like when she wasn't working, you see, she was here every week and it was like, yeah, and I got spoiled. But now she's working, you see, I've had to go back to normal again, which is seeing her every couple of weeks, you know. And it's kind of like, I want Sue to come. Especially when I've got anything to show her, you know, I want to show her things I've finished and done. And I'm the same with her. I want to see what she's doing. Well, she never gets much time these days, but what she does when she gets the time, yeah. You see, I missed that because when she wasn't working, she was producing more crochet, wasn't she? And it was like, oh, what are you doing today? What you got? Oh, dear. I do so love having friends who crochet. I know I've got my internet friends. You're all lovely, beautiful. They all keep me going. But it's not the same as having somebody sitting in that chair there. That's where Sue sits. That's Sue's chair. And chatting to me. And knocking her about like we always do. Yeah, knocking her about. Yeah. I saw some lovely mannequins on eBay. Really cheap as well. But they're all like that. Why can I not find I hate to say the word, a fat mannequin like me. I'm still trying to pad this one up, but she's got a very strange shape. She looks completely sort of weird. So that's why I've not been using her to model anything, because we haven't managed to get her looking in proportion, if you know what I mean. She's looking fat, but she's not looking curvaceous. She's looking weird. So I'll have to get somebody on that, because I'm no good at that sort of thing. That's why it looks weird, because I did ever go at it. Oh dear. She's padded up with all sorts of stuff. And I don't even know where I've put her sweater now. She's got a polo neck sweater that's going to go all over the top of her when she's finished. But it's been so long that I've forgotten where I've put her polo neck sweater. Anyway. I've run out of things to say. That's strange for me, isn't it? But I have. So, I shall see you maybe later this week, hopefully, with a co-pilot. But I never know, do I? I don't know until the morning when she says, oh, I'm coming, or yeah. So just keep your fingers crossed, everybody, that I get a phone call from Sue saying, I'm here, I'm coming. So I'm feeling a bit fragile, so I'm going to pull the camera towards me. Sorry if I made you all dizzy. But you've got a close-up, haven't you, of the sweater now. So I'll say bye-bye to you all and see you all soon. Bye now.